Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be reviewing and analyzing chapter 1128 of One Piece. If you haven't been here before, or this is your first time on my channel, would greatly appreciate it if you could do your boy a solid, like, share, and subscribe, bang that bell. It would absolutely mean the world to me. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into this review.
頑張れそう頑張れ諦めないで口笛吹きさ歩き出そうよ Going now
Alright guys, chapter 1128 of One Piece. Not gonna lie to you, as a One Piece fan, I can tell I'm going to love these next few chapters of One Piece, but I can tell as a content creator, I am going to fucking hate these next few chapters, dude. Like, personally, if I wasn't doing Otaku Talk, if I wasn't doing this content creation shit, I would not read One Piece for like 2 months, maybe 3 months, for several months, and let these chapters build up. We are in adventure piece right now. We're full of mystery and adventure. We're exploring. We're having fun with the crew. We're discovering new things. Lore isn't quite as important right now, and that's kind of what I live for. Don't get me wrong. I love the lore, but that's something I like to start putting together and doing after the fact. I kind of like to, play the game, enjoy the game, and then after, start doing the achievements. That kind of thing, right? And so what's happening with this right now is we're on this mysterious island. We don't know where we are. I'm a big fan of other content creators, and we have people that believe we're either in Elbaf. We have people that believe this isn't Elbaf. I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. I really want this to be Elbaf so bad. I want this, whoever this sun god dude is, I want it to either be Loki or Loki's kid or whatever, and that they're just some kind of giant dweeb or whatever, and they have a RPG fetish, and they just like role playing and D&D type blah 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 yada yada. I think that'd be really fun. I think that'd be really creative. Last time on this channel, I spoke about how this is probably a classic dollhouse scenario where that they're in this person's dollhouse, and it seems to be kind of like that, but way bigger, where this person has built an entire town in their quote unquote basement, if you will, right? And so I'm okay if this isn't Elbaf, but the thing is, we've been excited. We've been waiting on Elbaf for a really, really long time. The only thing we've been waiting for longer than Elbaf would be like Wano and Raftel, right? And in my opinion, Wano was a little bit of a disappointment. I'm not saying Wano was bad. I'm just saying for me, there were a lot of aspects, a lot of things that I was looking forward to seeing, looking forward to getting, just wanted to happen in Wano that did not happen. And so my next big, okay, fuck it, Wano was a miss for me. But this is Elbaf we're talking about. Oh my god. And next up was Egghead. And don't get me wrong, I loved Egghead a lot. I thought that mini arc or arc, whatever you want to call it, was fire. But once again, it was a detour from Elbaf, and then we're like, all right, cool. We finally get to Elbaf. We're surrounded by giants. Here we go. And now once again, another distraction, another detour. Not the biggest deal in the world, but Oda and company keep releasing statement after statement that One Piece is coming to an end soon. One Piece is going to be over soon. So I'm getting nervous, and I want to make sure that we hit the important beats, we hit the important stories, all the important things that we need to do before the end of the story. And if we're going to be doing extra things, they better be fucking worth it, or it's going to be problematic, right? And so I'm hearing that not only is this not just Elbaf. I was okay with it not being Elbaf, but like a peripheral giant island, not necessarily Elbaf, but another land of giants, just not the Elbaf warrior giants. I was thinking maybe Yggdrasil or whatever. There's multiple giant islands or multiple places on Yggdrasil, and this is just one of them. An interesting theory I heard from Mord recently is that these are humans that are shrunk, and that the sun god isn't actually even a giant himself. He's just normal size, and they've shrunk people. And that would be really interesting too. It would be kind of a subversion of like the whole Gulliver's Travels trope we had way earlier on in the series with other characters like Noland and the Tuntata. Personally, I'm getting a lot of heavy Skypiea vibes with this arc, and with sprinkles of Whole Cake Island, right? Especially when Luffy runs into himself in the mirror. That was hilarious. My only question at this point is, do the inhabitants of this fake world know that it is fake? My assumption is kind of no, but like, I don't know. I feel like they're all part of the bit. Also, how did they all get here? We meet that dude who was riding the grasshopper, and it seems to me he's the groundskeeper of sorts. He's the gameskeeper of sorts, right? His job is to feed all these gods. Now, what he feeds them, how he feeds them, that's an interesting question. But like, he seems to have really embraced and taken on that role. But I'm wondering if all these other townspeople are cognizant of the fact that this is all just a facade or not. I mean, they all seem to be buying into calling all these animals gods and whatnot. And if these are all just regular animals, it would make sense why people think that maybe that everyone else is just shrunk, right? So we have no clue. I have no clue. I would just like this to be an island of giants, and these are just normal giant animals. But I also feel like the giant animals will be way more massive than they are. So who the hell knows? We're gonna see as we continue, right? So anyway, we get really funny interactions as we're getting exposition from this dude on the grasshopper, and everyone's shutting up Luffy's mouth so that he doesn't end up telling them that, oh, we're the ones that killed these gods that you so I was gonna say revere. I don't know what word I'm trying to say. It's between like revere or revile, but I don't know if revile is a word, but it sounds like a good word. But these guys that you hold in such high capacity, right? Yeah, we're the ones who killed them. Not only did we kill them, we cooked some of them, right? So that's happening as well. Something else that was a big talk about the last chapter was, are they still drunk? Are they hallucinating? Is all of this really happening right now? At this point in time, I'm just gonna go along for the ride. I'm not gonna make any theories. Basically, what it's seeming like after this chapter is it was all a mistake, and just Oda kind of fucked up, which is a little bit embarrassing, especially as someone that has always hailed Oda as like Goda and like can make no mistakes. It just goes to show that if this is all true, he is human. These are new character designs. He was probably rushing, so like maybe he did forget a sword here or an axe here, or forget what he was doing. I'm I'm looking so much forward to like any kind of clarification Shonen Jump or Oda himself may give us. I don't know if this is the kind of thing that, you know, a mangaka will come out and say, oh yeah, my bad, I fucked up. I feel like the publishers to say that, but maybe they're trying to save face for Oda. I don't know, but a lot of people, and all this taught me was I have a terrible eye for detail, because personally I didn't give a fuck. I didn't notice things. I literally, in the last review when I was going over it, was like, and he uses Gear 4 Elephant Whip without for a second realizing, wait a minute, Elephant Whip is a Gear 3 move, just completely like not paying attention. So like, I'm a fake fan apparently, but no, it's been really interesting. So with the way One Piece is, it's almost impossible to know if something is a red herring, if something is actually happening, or if it's just a joke Oda is making, if it's just something Oda forgot. Like, there are times where Oda's forgotten that he hasn't revealed a Devil Fruit ability, or the name of a Devil Fruit, or like several other minor but key details to things. So I wouldn't put it past it for just this to be just another one of those things, right? Something interesting about the grasshopper dude, he's had this really cool tattoo. It kind of reminded me of a sun, but also of a crab. So I'm wondering about that, if he's a fisherman. So another thing I was talking about was, how did all these people get here, right? And I really am thinking we are going to run into the man marked by flames. We've been told earlier in the story that there are, you know, whirlpools surrounding this one area. So like, why not would it be a situation where everyone that goes through this whirlpool, whatever, ends up on this specific place and is captured by this sun god, if you will? And maybe whoever, if it's not the person marked by flames, if it's not them, maybe it's someone that works for them or that they are using for their own gain, and they're like, hey, anyone that tries to travel to Elbaf is going to get sent here, and you can do whatever the fuck you want with them. I'm not gonna bother you. I'm not gonna check up on you. You just have at it. You have fun. And they're like, deal. This is perfect for my old Viking collection. You know what I'm saying? This could be some Elbaf fanboy, something like that. We have no clue. And so anyway, they break through the mirror. They see that there's mesh. It's a two-way mirror. Sanji gets this really creepy part about redoing the girls' bathrooms, and I cannot wait to see how that goes over with a certain audience base because people really, really hate the like perviness aspect of Sanji, and so I know that many people are going to have a lot to say about that. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. I think jokes are jokes. I get really irritated when people try to like force way too heavily like real life shit. Like that's disgusting and deplorable, and like we shouldn't be teaching our children to condone. Like people know right from wrong. It's not cool to ask people to see their panties. It's not cool to like. Well, actually, I know some girls it's cool, but anyway, generally speaking, it's not cool to do certain things, and it's just kind of up to us to have that discretion, and up to us to have like parents and people in our lives that will like tell us and teach us that. And like you can't just take something from a book and just start like going crazy with it, which I know is kind of crazy because there's so much that One Piece has taught me. But like I think you just need to have that kind of discernment of like what lessons to take and learn from something, and what lessons you should be like, you know, I don't think I need to bring that with me. And so I think that's another example. So once they get into the room, they're reunited with Chopper, which I have been wondering where he was the entire time. Everyone in like their reviews and stuff have been like, Chopper, Chopper, Chopper. I was like, have we seen Chopper? So we finally saw Chopper. The only reason I can guess why he was separated was because he appears to be an animal, but he's really, really small. I want to see how he is. Actually, we saw the other animals. So he's not large in comparison to those animals as well. So he was probably separated from the humans and was probably going to be released as maybe some other kind of god. It almost seemed like the guy was having him work on like the outfits and little small props and stuff. So I was curious about that as well. We're definitely going to get more information on that. And they have a moment where Chopper like hugs Nami, and Nami's like, I'm going to charge you for that. And I was like, I thought Nami fucked with Chopper. And like Chopper's always like cute and adorable and young, so I always thought he kind of got that like child treatment a little bit. He is older now, but I still thought that was really interesting how Nami was treating him. I feel like a bunch of people are trying to find like really weird quirks or things that the like Straw Hats are doing right now. People are looking for like a fake Straw Hat, someone who's out of character. I don't think that's what Oda's doing right now. I think he's just trying to have kind of that old crew dynamic, and I think it's just been so long that it's like rubbing people the wrong way, or people like getting confused about how the crew interacted. Like I myself even said last chapter review, I felt a certain type of way when Nami used Usopp as a shield for the cat. I thought that was super fucked up, and I really didn't like it. Like, yeah, like if you don't think about it too much, it's funny, but also like, come on, we've been through so much. You're gonna do that to Usopp? Which reminds me, I love that line where like Luffy kind of questions Usopp. He's like, you should have been able to take out that cat, dude. And like Usopp's like, look, man, I came to in its mouth already. Like, if I had the ability, like, blah, like, you know, if I had seen it, been prepared, you know, blah, blah, I could have taken it out. So I wonder if, like, that's Oda's way of telling us that, like, Usopp's not weak. Usopp could have handled that cat. It was just because of these weird circumstances and stuff. It had him off his game. I still think that's a little bit of a weak excuse, but whatever, we'll take it. Usopp at this level is not completely useless, and I think it's important to kind of mention because this is, at the end of the day, a Yonko crew, and they did kind of have a really poor showing until Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji showed up. So that is kind of a little bit embarrassing, right? Anyway, they run into the rabid guardians, which I just think are extra dangerous animals that that the sun god, the owner of this place, the person role playing and whatnot, just put at the entrance to the door to just kind of make sure no one ever got too close, no one ever wandered this way. And so like that was the extent of it, and obviously it's not working because these guys are just too powerful. Luffy ends up going Gear 5, which I kind of had problems with. I'm not a big fan of in anime when they go to their strongest form. I'm the kind of person that likes them to go to what they feel they need to and have to be forced to go into their strongest form. Also, I just kind of want Gear 5 to be like a really rare, nice thing that we see every so often until, you know, we really, really need it for the bad guy. Especially with the fact that, like, it's killing Luffy. Like, all the forms have killed Luffy, but, like, this one's, like, this one is doing something dangerous. And I've already likened it to what happened with Hody Jones in the Tomato Bako box or whatever it's called. But I always figured this might be, like, a healthier way, but maybe it doesn't matter. It's just siphoning your life or whatever. But I just think it's very reckless for Luffy to be going to Gear 5 all the time. I know it's kind of, like, idiotic to like complain about Luffy being reckless, but like I still do think it is reckless. I don't think he needs Gear 5 for the many of the times he's used Gear 5. So it's whatever. I digress. Anyway, the sun god's here. He's seeing them destroying his shit. I think some of it's on fire. Like, just he's obviously mad. I would be mad too if I saw this. Like this is massive. Like, he probably put a lot of work and effort into this. So like all this work and effort I put into being destroyed by these like hooligans, and also it's gonna be very hard for him to like fight them, because it's one of those situations where being large is gonna be to his detriment, because as he's trying to fight them, he might be like hitting his buildings and towers and all this other stuff over. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here for now. I know that was a lot of rambling. There's nothing I really want to talk about. This is just one of those sections of the story that I just think is meant to be enjoyed. I think it is going to tie into the greater story overall relatively soon. But in the meantime, I just want to enjoy the adventure aspect of it, have fun, just enjoy just being in a new place and seeing how our crew responds to the new place. But most importantly, how the new place responds to our crew. That's what makes One Piece so great. That's what makes Luffy so great. How people respond to them. Because normally that's what life is about. Responding to your new situation and adapting accordingly. But we are with people that don't do that shit. And it's going to be a fun adventure and a ride. Anyway, take care. This has been Otaku Talk with your host, OD. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and do me a solid. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care and peace.
Thank you.